Welcome everyone to Hostile Opinions, a show where you send the topics you want discussed in. I give you my opinion on them. I want to thank everyone who sent topics in this week. Remind everyone you can PM me your topics on LA, League Arena, or Xbox Live. Email me at vflcommissioner@mail.leaguearena.com. Keep those topics rolling in. Keep these shows going. I want to start today by jumping right into the upcoming VFLPA election. We have two great candidates running. We got Cody and Relentless Joker. Both these guys have PA experience, and it should be a close race. Check out the VFLPA debate thread on the forums for all the information you need on these two guys. Ask the questions you want answered before the election next week. That way you know who you feel the best candidate is and can make the right vote. Moving forward, we got kind of a long show today, so I'm going to kind of brush on through this. The first topic I have and I want to discuss today is sent to us by Cuban on Xbox. And Cuban asked, he says, what changes would you like to see moving forward? Honestly, this is a topic I could discuss for a month, but as I say, we've got a long show today, so I'm going to narrow it down to two. The first change I'd like to see is the way we utilize VFL training camps. I feel like there's a more effective, more efficient way to utilize some of these guys in the training camps. We're getting guys stuck in training camp that are active players, but their AFL team's doing well and don't need them. And then we've got other teams that can't get active players. So in the off season, we're definitely going to look at a new system for the training camp. Don't know what it is yet, but we're going to find a solution, a way to get these active guys in games. I'm going to do my best to make sure that happens. We've got to let active players play. Number two, I discussed a little bit last week. I want to see more talent development in the league. I want to see the higher level players working with the lower level players to improve, their gameplay, their stick skills. Because in the end, competition will spark interest. The higher level of competition we have in the VFL, the more people that are going to want to come in, and the better quality players will draw in. So I definitely think we all need to try to work with each other. Some of these Hall of Famers, some of these Pro Bowlers need to get out and work with some of the lesser talented players in the league to improve that. What we got next here? Next topic, somebody sent one in, says discuss the top 5 players at their position. Guys, we'll be here for 2 hours if I do this. I'm kind of going to chop this question up a little bit. I'm still going to answer it for you. I'm going to give you my top 5 players in general. There'll be in no specific order. I'm not going to sit here and give you, this guy is the best, this guy's second. I'm just going to give you 5 guys. The first on my list, and yes, there are a couple of my friends on this list, but these guys do deserve to be here. LBG Ponchi Swag. Statistically, the guy is tearing it up at quarterback right now. Definitely going to be a front runner for quarterback of the year this season. He'll be top 5 in all-time stats in all major passing categories by the end of this season, if not, somewhere in the middle of next. The guy doesn't need a good user wide receiver. He's got a lot of good computer-generated plays, that he throws to, a lot of computer routes. And he really doesn't run the ball much, so he doesn't need a running back. Defensively, if you can give him a solid linebacker or DB, either one, he's going to win you games, 15, 16 games a year easily. The guy is just automatic 15, 16 wins with us in a 21-game season. So that's number 1 on my list. Second guy on my list, surprise, surprise, Aries 21. Aries, after the loss of ATM, I feel is the best DB in this league and will be the best DB all time for as long as he plays. I don't see him ever having a down year where he gets like 10, 15 picks. He's always going to be 40, 50 picks. He's always going to be up there in forced turnovers, He's probably a top 10 receiver. He knows how to read defenses. He makes the players on his line that much better. And that's really what you look for in a player to build a franchise around. You can take 2 solid guys and put them with Aries and they're Pro Bowlers. That's the way it works. And not to mention, my sources have told me he's the first Hobbit ever elected to the Hall of Fame. And how he does what he does with those tiny little hands, the stick skills he has to have Hobbit hands like that is it's amazing. Hey, honestly, in all seriousness, though, guys, Aries is probably one of the top 5, no doubt in my mind. Next guy on my list was actually trained by Aries. And Matty Ice, Matabetes, whatever his new name is, the Viper RKO, John Cena's champ, whatever he is. He influenced Redwater apparently and made Redwater the player he is today. So big shout out to Matt on that one. Good job, Matt. Thank you. Red can play all 3 offensive positions at a Hall of Fame level, which is ridiculous. Most people play one. maybe 2 good. This guy plays all 3 at a Hall of Fame level, which is staggering to me. He is the best linebacker in the league. There's no doubt about it. Stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie. The guy will continue to lead the all-time stats at linebacker. And over the last 2 seasons, Redwater defense has allowed less than 14 points a game, which makes my life so much easier. You know, when you can go out and rely on your linebacker to hold a team to 10, 13 points, and you've only got to score 2, 3 touchdowns, it's just a relief. Next player on my list is probably going to shock some people. Going to come out of left field here, but I'm Uncle Willie's son. He's a VFL Hall of Famer, and he can simply take any team, any amount of talent to the Super Bowl. You know, whether he's a player, whether he's an owner, whether he's management, his teams go to the Super Bowl. His stats aren't shocking. They're not overly solid. They're good, but somehow every year his team manages to find its way late into the playoffs, and for the last 5 seasons it seems like he's in the Super Bowl. So any player or owner or whatever position he is that can take his team that deep in the playoffs is definitely a top 5 player in this league. Should be considered as one of the guys you need on your roster or you need to play for. Final player on my top 5, and this is a name we all hear daily, Mr. User Pick. With him, I don't even know where to start. The guy is the best user wide receiver in the league. He can make any quarterback look good. I mean, I spoke with User Pick. He only knows 2 things. He knows how to make DBs look stupid, and he knows how to win games. That's it. That's all he knows how to do. He's just one of those players. If you see him hop in the lobby and you're about to play his team, your stomach drops. Because if you play him, it's generally not going to be a good day. When I play him, I literally won't throw near him. If you do throw near him, it's probably going to go the other direction, and it's probably going to go the other direction for 6 points. He's just a first ballot Hall of Famer by a landslide. Makes some of the weaker players on his team better. And like I said again, that's what you want. If you're looking for a top caliber player, you want a guy who's not only going to play good himself, but he's going to make players on your team better. He's going to help develop the talents on your team. He's going to teach people things he knows and improve the team in general. So those are my top 5. Anytime you play one of these guys, you better pack a lunch and put on your big boy pants because it's going to be a tough day. No doubt about it. Those are the 5 guys I feel are at the top right now. All right, moving forward, like I said, I'm gonna move through some of this kind of quick because I've got a lot to get in here in a short amount of time. The next topic sent to us by the VFLPA president, Optimus88, JP Prodigy, whatever you know him as. JP asked, who do you feel the most overrated players in the league and the most underrated players in the league are? Don't hold back. Wow, okay, well, JP's trying to get me a little bit of trouble with this one, but we'll do it. I'm not going to hold back. Obviously, I am who I am. You guys know me. I don't hold back, so I'm gonna lay it down like I said I would. I'm going to start off with underrated. The most underrated players in the VFL are the AFL and training camp players by far. There's so much talent in those lower levels, guys, that's undiscovered that it would amaze you if you started looking. There's people that pop out of that every year and just go to Pro Bowl. You know, like Mags. We picked Mags up this year. He's playing with us. I think he was on Smitty's team before the restart and all that, but this is his first full season that I know of in the NFL level, and the guy's going to the Pro Bowl. There's just no doubt about it. He's tearing it up at DB. Really solid wide receiver. There is talented, active guys down there. You just got to take the time to play with these guys and find it. Without these guys, we wouldn't have a league. You know, people don't realize that. Without the AFL in the training camp, the league will not succeed. These are the guys that sit around and wait all week to get one game because they want to play. So, you know, without them, we'd probably all be playing game battles or lobby games and be bored to death with Madden. Now, overrated. Right here's where someone's feelings are going to get hurt, but I'm a man of my word. It's a topic you want discussed. I'm going to lay it on you. Starting with number 1, and these are not in order either. These are just 3 guys I feel that have kind of been overrated this season. R.R. Dan O'Might, I hate to do it to you, but Dan's a great guy. I'm not going to blame a lot of it on Dirty Dan, but you know he's played with no help on his line. In the end, though, he's on a 7-game losing streak. Stats are horrible. You can look them up yourself. I think he's got like 3 rushing touchdowns. Played some quarterback, but he threw like 7 picks in 2 games. he just can't really find his niche on this team. It's just not been a good year for Dan. I kind of think that real life is starting to move in and take him away from Madden a little bit, which is fine. I've always said, and I always will say, real life, jobs-wise, that's more important. But in the end, I don't see him practicing as much, and I just don't expect to see those Hall of Fame skills come back from him anytime soon. Second name on our list is Rick Flo. Rick Flo was a $10 million pickup by San Francisco. And granted, they're in the playoffs, and he does have a winning record, but he's 8-1 against teams below 500 this season. He's 1-3 against teams above 500, with that one win coming against the Green Bay Packers. And on defense, I think he's kind of a liability. If you look at his stats, he's got 20 picks, that's not even half of what the good DBs in this league are getting. Most of the good DBs are up in the 40-50 range for this point in the season. He's got 4 picks against teams over 500. So that tells me he's really not getting the stats in the games he should be. And he's got 17 picks against teams below 500. So, when you pay $10 million for a guy to go 9-4 at this point in the season, when most people have played 15, 16 games, he's got a 2-to-1 win ratio. It's just $1 million a win. I feel if you pay $10 million for a player, at this point with us playing 21 games, he should have won you 12 to 15 games, period. If you don't win 12 to 15 games in a 21-game season, I just don't see it, especially when only one of those wins is against a team over 500. You've got to have more quality wins than that if you're making that kind of buck in the VFL. And finally, on my most overrated players list, I hate to bash two brothers at the same time. I really do. These guys are both good guys, got me into the league. I remember when Champlu's name intimidated people. You heard Mr. Champlu. You knew you were in for a rough game. He used to tear it up at linebacker. He was hard to run against, hard to pass against. And at quarterback, if you drop back on him, he'd run on you. If you come up on him, he'd pass on you. Really, really tough to play at quarterback. But this season, it's just fell apart for him. He's talked retirement a couple times. He's 5-4 on the year. He's not really done anything as far as to help the team or to improve the team. It's just a rough year for him in general. I'd honestly like to see him and Dan come back next season and play together, because I think if the two of them could get back together, they could probably get that fire they had in Chicago. They could bear down again. But just 5-4 from a Hall of Famer is unacceptable, period. You can't have that. So, I feel like those are the three guys that are kind of overrated. You hear their names a lot, and it's just they're not what they once were. Past that, I want to encourage everybody once again to check the VFL PA forums, or the PA thread. I'm sorry, and keep an eye on that. See how the election's going. Make sure you know who you want to vote for. I also want to let everyone know that we have a BOG position opening for next season. We are accepting applications at this time. Send an application to myself on League Arena. Mail it to me. VFL Commissioner at mail.leaguearena.com. Once again, when you send these applications in, guys, I don't need my name is Hostility, I'm a veteran, I want to be BOG. Give me at least a page of why you'll be a good candidate, what you'd like to see changed, times you're available. These are the things that I need to see. The people who become BOGs in general will send me a page to 2-page letter about what they would like to see change while they're devoted to the league. If you're not devoted to putting time into the application, you're really not going to be devoted to being a staff member. So make sure you get that in. Like I said, we're going to have one BOG position opening with JP Prodigy coming in and taking the other. Optimus 88, sorry, I'm still stuck on his old name, but make sure you guys get those in. With that said, it's been fun, it's been real, but it's not been real fun, and we're out of time. Keep the topics rolling in. I'll keep my opinions rolling out. Till next week, guys. Deuces.